What if I was to tell you that you could actually start making money right now without a single cent invested by blogging? So today we're talking about how you can make money from home while blogging. Believe it or not, there is a plethora of opportunity out there for blogging. Whether you're doing it on your own website, whether you're doing it on a third-party platform like Facebook or Twitter or Threads or any other platform out there that allows you to write articles. Another opportunity is to do it by email. Bet you didn't think about that, did you? Believe it or not, blogs aren't strictly stuck to being on a social media page or on a website. You can actually do blogging by email subscription only. There's a multitude of different ways that you can go through and be able to write articles on any freaking topic you want to. Literally. You can talk about blindness, you can talk about your experience with accessibility issues, you can talk about your struggles as an entrepreneur, you can talk about whatever TV show you might be interested in. Whatever. You can literally blog about anything. Just like podcasting, just like video creation for YouTube or any other platform. You literally have an open book to do whatever topic you want to, however you want to. And it doesn't cost you anything. Like I said, you can do it on Facebook, which is 100% free. Yeah, granted, you have the algorithm that is either going to help you or hinder you, but there are ways to work around that to be able to get to your audience without spending money. You have the opportunity to use Threads or Instagram or Twitter. All of these, along with Reddit and Medium and all the other ones, they all give you that opportunity for free to be able to do your content. Now, how do you make money off of these platforms from that content? Well, each platform has different requirements. Usually, it's a fair amount of followers. However, just because these platforms state that you have to have X amount of followers or subscribers in order to monetize on their platform, you actually don't need their platform to monetize. There are other platforms like Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, or others like, as I mentioned a second ago, emailing. ConvertKit, who I use for my email newsletter and sending you guys all information, also has an opportunity for you to use their service for free up to 1,000 subscribers. You can then charge for that newsletter, giving you that opportunity to be able to monetize. You can have it be something that is a required payment in order to get the articles. You can have it set up as a donation setup. That way, your subscribers or followers can donate if they want to, rather than being required to in order to access that content. You can use Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, or Patreon. Set it up on there to where they either have to pay a monthly membership or something to that effect in order to get access to it on there along with other benefits. You can work up towards the monetization level of the platforms themselves, which can actually take a little while, but in theory, by having the amount of people that they require, you are guaranteed to make at least some kind of a revenue compared to being at a lower level and not making as much per se. Hypothetically, for just an example, that not real numbers, but we'll say hypothetically that you're currently at like 200 followers on Facebook, but the requirement's like 15,000. Well, at 15,000 followers and them doing their ads and their monetization thing on their side, you might make, 50, 60, 70 bucks a month compared to like with your 200 subscribers, you don't reach their requirement level, but we'll say you did hypothetically at just the 200, you'd only make like maybe 5-10 bucks. And that's still going high side at 5-10 bucks. Because, like I said a minute ago, with 15,000, 50, 60, 70, there's no true way to know exactly how much you're going to get from any one platform without it actually happening. But in theory, we'll say you've got 200 people on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. If you use a donation system or a required payment like that, we'll say it's $5. Well, $5 times 200 people, that's a fair amount of money. Now, of course, 15,000 people, same thing. Now, of course, you're not going to get absolutely everybody to subscribe, but you could see a large difference there in how much you would earn 200 people versus 15,000 people. And then, like, if you go to, like, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, Ko-Fi, one of them kind of platforms, you can have your subscribers on there, and we'll just say for giggles that everybody does sign up. $5 at 200 people is $1,000. Now, if you had a $5 fee every month for the year and everybody subscribed, that's $1,000 a month for the entire year. See what I'm getting at here? Now, granted, you're not likely to get 200 people out of 200 people to subscribe, but you get what I'm saying. The more people you have on a regular basis, consistently throughout the year, reoccurring revenue that is there consistently, compared to a donation setup where we'll say only maybe 10 people decide out of 200 to donate. And then what do they decide to donate? Do they only give you $5? Do they say, hey, you're providing me enough information and value or entertainment to give you 50 or 100 or more? It's hard to say. Either way, on a donation system, you have the potential to earn, but it's not as likely to earn you the same as a dedicated membership style fee each month, quarterly, or annually, or however you choose to do your arrangement. But you can, in fact, monetize blogging on day one through one of those methods. Now, long term, you can go out and have your blog on a website on like WordPress. Now, of course, WordPress does require hosting and things like that in order to really benefit you. But if you were to go out, spend a little bit on a domain and a hosting plan to have a website for a blog, you can then use something like Google's AdSense or the Site Kit to be able to insert ads onto your blog or into your website to give you that additional revenue source. You could also reach out to local companies, brands, services that you might use or enjoy or like, that you could potentially reach out to them and go, hey, I have a blog that's on this topic with this many followers or whatever, and go, hey, what would you think about advertising on my blog or on my website for X amount of money each year or something like that? This way, you're getting a revenue stream that's helping pay for your content and your hosting for that expense, as well as giving you some profit at the same time. There's a multitude of different ways that you can go about hosting a blog on any different platform and being able to monetize. Myself, I am currently working on getting all the requirements for Google done, because believe it or not, you don't just get to go, oh yeah, turn on Google's ads on my website. It's not that simple. You do have a required process to go through of setting things up and making sure that it's going to meet Google standards. You have to have unique content, and you have to provide value for them to be able to go, yeah, we'll put ads on your website or on your blog or on your content, sure. Many people think that, yeah, you just start a blog and put Google ads on there and you make a ton. No, you don't. That's not how it works. Now, it can be a long process to do because you have to have content on the site or on the blog at least in order to generate enough content for Google to sign off and say, yes, we'll approve you. But once you do, if your website's blogs getting, we'll say 200-300 people a week, that's 200-300 people that those ads would get served to once you do get approved. Now, if they click on anything, that helps towards you on your earnings. Even if they don't click on anything and they just see the ad, that still helps towards you. You know, you could, in theory, even if somebody weren't per se to click on one of those ads, but you have 200, 300, 400, 500 people coming to your site on a weekly basis, even if they don't click on that ad being served to them still generates you a little bit of revenue. It might only be 3, 4, 5 cents. It might be 10, 12 cents. Either way, each of them little impressions that you get that create that revenue stream for you do add up. Now, it might not be fast, but at least you would be able to say, hey, look, I'm making 20, 30, 40 bucks a month in ad revenue currently with only this amount of people. And then you'll eventually reach your $100 payout, and then, hey, look at that, a couple months down the road, you got a nice $100 check sitting there for you. Same thing with all the other platforms, Facebook and all the others. You reach their monetization level, they start placing their sponsored ads and things on your page, and you get that revenue share. So you might not be making a ton by any means, but at least you're making something every little bit helps, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship and creating multiple income streams of your own. Whether you're on social media, on Reddit, or any other platform, you can monetize on day one. Now, of course, it is going to take more work this way, but it is entirely possible. So, figure out your topic that you are passionate about or think that you will enjoy for a fair amount of time. Figure out what platform is going to work out best for you, and go to town on writing articles. Post once a day, once every couple days. The more consistent you can be, the better. This way you will continue to generate traffic to your content. The more eyes you can potentially get onto it, the more opportunity for revenue streams to be able to flow into you. Because we'll say hypothetically you choose Facebook, okay? You pick Facebook, you put an article out once a day, every day. You might only have 200 followers. Okay, well, out of those 200 followers, how many people see it that same day when you post it? It's hard to say. It could be everyone, depending on how active they are with you and on Facebook in general. It could be 1/10 of them. How many of them engage with your content? How many of them share your content? All of these things play factors. The more exposure you can give yourself, the more opportunity you have. So if you can take that same article and post it over onto Twitter, that gives you more reach. Now, some people will tell you the fewer the platforms you're on, the better. But that's not entirely true. At the minimum, you want to be on a lot of the different platforms to at least, at the very minimum, reserve your name. You don't necessarily have to post on every platform, but you do want to be on the top ones to at least reserve your name. That way nobody can steal it from you. That is tip number one. No matter what you're going to do, whether it's blogging, video, podcast, whatever. If you're going to be on one platform by a specific name, like Consult a Blind Guy, you would want to go to the other platforms and go, okay, well, I need that name on this one. Because Joe Schmo, who sees your content and thinks it might be good, might get a bug in his ear and decide to, oh, well, I like that name or I like that content. And since he's not over here, I'm just going to go pretend to be him. And then they could build up a following over there and pretend to be you and make the money that you should be without you even knowing. So there's always things that you should be considering. Reserve your name on any platform if you're going to do it. Yes, it is a lot more to take care of and handle and manage. But if you do it in a manner like this, it's going to save you more hassle in the long run down the road. Because look at it this way. If you go out, you start on a platform, you reserve your name on all the other platforms, you don't have to worry about people stealing it and potentially causing you issues or taking money that you should have been earning. But two, we'll say you become successful in this, and 3-6 months down the road, you're deciding that, hey, maybe I should expand to another platform, because if I'm getting this much traffic over here and people are liking it, there's this many people over there that are potentially liking it too. So then you go and expand, and look at that. You just grew your following even more. Niche blogs are definitely something that can make you money. The more niche you are, the more potential you are going to have. Now, myself, you all know I have multiple YouTube channels, multiple social media accounts, the whole 9 yards. All of that takes a lot to manage. So consider this when you're starting out and while you're growing, what you want to do, how much you want to manage, and what's going to be best for you. Some people don't want to have the stress of managing 5 different platforms in cross-posting, in responding to messages and comments and everything that goes into it. That's where a social media manager comes in. And yes, that can range in price from very little to very, very expensive. And I don't have a media manager, but I am qualified to be a media manager because I manage enough on my own and assist with other things to tell you that it's not something that is cheap. Even somebody who's fairly new and inexperienced when it comes to social media management can still be fairly expensive. But that's neither here nor there. When it comes to you and your content, you need to decide what you want to be doing yourself and how much you're going to dedicate to time to manage it all. When it comes to monetization, you need to remember that it is good to diversify. You don't want to just put something on one platform and call it good. Especially when it comes to like the social media aspect of Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, any platform, anything that you do not own. Because you never know when or if a platform is going to have a major change in terms of use. You never know if for some reason their system crashes and everything gets reset back to scratch. You never know if the company is going to go out of business, anything. There's a crap ton of different scenarios that could play out on a third-party platform, and they could all potentially cause you some big, big issues. Some that have happened in the past that are worth mentioning are companies getting banned, kind of like TikTok in multiple other countries and currently in Congress here in the United States to be banned here. You have Twitter and the whole change from Twitter to X under Elon. And look what happened with the influx of people going to the platform and people leaving the platform because of all of the changes that happened. Look at MySpace. MySpace used to be #1 when it came to being on social media. And then we had the birth of Facebook, and MySpace kind of took a hit and went on the back burner, disappeared for a while, and then relaunched a while later as a completely new style of a platform underneath the same name. You could have a channel on YouTube or on Facebook that is monetized and making $1,000 a month. And then they could say, hey, we think you violated our terms of the guidelines, and just shut off your monetization. They could shut down your whole account. They can do whatever they want at any time, which could be potentially catastrophic for you. This is why it's beneficial to having your blog on a platform that you own, such as a WordPress website, because then the only thing that you have to worry about is paying the company for your domain name and the company that hosts your site. That's it. You don't have to worry about the company that you're hosting your website coming on going, hey, you're violating our community guidelines on posting too much today. You're going to get put in Facebook jail. Or you're commenting too much, or we don't like your comment, or we feel that the language that you're using is offensive, or whatever the case may be. Platforms have that ability to go, you know what? I don't like it. We're going to punish you for it. So we're either going to restrict your ability to post or do something, or we're going to take your monetization away, or we're going to take your account away in general. So diversify. No matter what it is that you decide to do, whether you're blogging, vlogging, doing podcasting, video creation, art and crafts, whatever, diversification is fundamental. The more streams that you can have for it, the better you are in the long run. Just remember not to bite off more than you can chew or manage on your own. So, I'm interested in hearing what you think about doing blogs as a potential revenue stream for working from home. Is this something that you've ever considered? Have you ever thought about the potential of the revenue that you could make from writing blog articles? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about blogging and the future of blogging, because it has changed quite a bit over the last 20 years. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you have a great day or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and we'll see you in the next episode.